So, Benny, wir laufen.
Ja,
Ja, alles klar? Okay, Benny, everything's cool? Good.
everything wonderful.
Okay, thank you, Benny. Backstage. Da, 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 da. Backstage. Da, 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 da. Backstage. Da, 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 da. Bing. Backstage. Da, 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 da. Hello, darlings. Um, it is Sunday, and today is the 26th of December. Thank you for being part of my weekly streaming Rudy Backstage. Again, from a great, great place where there's a lot of sun. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about, the whole year, because it's the 26th. So the next Sunday, if I'm counting correctly, will be already in the new year. And I also will talk a little bit about Frank Zappa because he had birthday and he was a very, very important person in my life. So let's start with Frank Zappa. I often say that Freddie Mercury was my mentor, and that is true. But I actually had three mentors. My very first mentor in my world was Frank Zappa, because in 1980, 78, 79, 80, we had great projects together, and was teaching me what he called the rock and roll filmmaking. So at that time, I was doing for television little reports. I was one of the first, I have to say, in Europe. It was very, very adventurous. So we were standing at airports. There was nothing cleared up front, and people were coming out from the passport control. And I said, "Hi, I'm Rudy. I would like to do a little film about you for Austrian television of ORF, etc." And people said yes or no. And in this time, I did people like Patti Smith, Tom Waits, then Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff, and Peter Tosh, the first reggae stars, um, many, many more. And of course, for also Frank Zappa. And the thing was that he said yes, and I was following him walking out. And then I would have to say that I was a big Frank Zappa fan. Yeah, I liked his records and Overnight Sensation, The Mothers of Invention. That was all very cool for me. We all had long hair. I mean, I still have it, just have it back. And and he walks out and goes into a big Cadillac limousine, and we follow him with my little car to get some shots which were not very stable. And then he drives to the hotel, which was the Hilton Hotel in Vienna, and we follow him in, and I see that he's booking or going into the presidential suite. Now, at that time, I was a young Austrian critical filmmaker, and Frank Zappa was an underground symbol, for criticizing the American way of life. So when I was shocked, because I thought we have to be cool and not so much the material things. If you're an underground symbol criticizing the American way of life, which is a lot of material things. So when I then did the interview in the afternoon, and it's pretty famous, and you can see it on YouTube. Very soon you will have a better version directly from the master on my YouTube channel, Rudi Dolezal Storu TV, which I kindly ask you to promote and ask people to subscribe. It's free of charge and of any obligations. But the more people are on there, the better. So when I have this interview, I said to him, "Isn't that a contradiction? That you, on the one hand, criticize the American way of life, and on the other hand, you are, using those symbols yourself." And out came a very interesting reaction. He was saying, "I'm a jerk of an interviewer, this and that." And in the following came little scenes that we filmed where Frank Zappa was then taking over as a TV announcer and finally let me, with a bratpfanne, with a pan, I got 20 hits on my ass, for each miserable year. The whole thing ended, by the way, up in one of his feature films in later. Um, and the thing was that it was the beginning of a friendship. And I mean, at the time, people said, "Oh no, you cannot leave this in your film." He's saying to you, "You are a jerk of an interviewer," and he's having his bodyguard, John Smothers was his name. He's hitting you on your ass in front of the camera and making fun of you. And I said to them, listen, I don't know if you know that many people um, who have been slapped on the ass by Frank Zappa's bodyguard. To me, that's hang on. I have to stop something. Okay, reset. To me, that's an honor, and I let it in. And funny enough, that was the beginning of my image as a rock filmmaker in the German-speaking market. That was originally only for Austrian television. It was shown in Scandinavia, in Sweden, in all over the world before internet. And that was sort of the basis of what happened later. My second mentor, as you might know, is Keith Richards, who is, thank God, still alive. And my third and maybe most important mentor was Freddie Mercury. That's a mentor in the sense of where I learned a lot of things, where I saw a lot of things for my life, for my artistic life, that I wanted to do or copy or do as well in my own way. Now, Frank Zappa died of pancreas cancer very young. And I also was filming his very last recording session, which was never released due to legal problems of his late wife and widow, Gail Zappa. The estate still holds it, um, um, and we'll see what happens. It's a pity that this is not released yet. But having the birthday, I was obviously thinking of him. Frank was a very funny character. I mean, he said, things like um, um, the one thing that the humankind is absolutely great in is killing each other. And this will be the reason why one day, the world will be again ruled by cockroaches when mankind is not existing anymore. Now, we are not that far away from being in danger. Climate change, atomic wars, what have you. Um, that the human race is going to be decimated, reduced quite a lot. And some people say the that's the we cannot stop it. I think we can stop it, and we should stop it. We should save the planet. We should save mankind. We should save us and culture and the great life that we can have. So this is a little excursion to Frank Zappa. Um, I love you, Frank. I love you. And now the year was a very, very busy year, and for me, and that was not at all planned. My plan originally was coming from Miami to to Austria, Vienna, because to see my boys, be there a month or two. It was in December, and then go up to a place like this, and then finish the book. Finally, write a new book about my life, which is going to be the next one, and change my lifestyle, being in the sun most of the time because that's where I feel comfortable. Although being Austrian, and also making a change from a filmmaker into a writer and filmmaker. Like Quentin Tarantino once said, he only wants to do 10 films. I said to myself, I only want to do 10 more films, but great ones. So two of the 10 I did already. I was very, very busy. One was the film I Am Positive with Elton John, Michael Caine, and many others on Corona, and what we can learn of pandemics as human mankind. And the second one was, at least the German version is out already, is Freddy's Munich years, which I hope to have an international version soon, which also includes some legal questions, so that all the Queen fans in the world can see what Peter Freestone, who was also executive producer, and myself did in Munich, which I think is quite remarkable for the future and for history. Because it's people who are also coming into an age where you never know how long they want to talk or how long they still are alive. So I think that was quite an interesting step. So, and then of course I did the two, started the two television series for Krone TV and Krone.at online, which has a lot of viewers, first of all in the German speaking countries, but also around the world. RUDI Backstage, and on the other hand, it's called in German Ohne Maulkorb mit Dollezahl, which is my talk show, um, which is translated something like without muzzle. So what you put on a dog when it's barking, but when you take it off, then you are without that. Yeah, so it's a little bit difficult to translate. And I had big stars there, and I will, and I signed another year. But it's going to be also sometimes on the road. That's why I recorded a few talk shows and RUDI Backstages already in Munich, and I will record some here. So I will not be in Vienna all the time. I mean, I haven't been all the time. I was in Montreux, I was in Munich, but still. And I think that my future is going to be in a place like this, where it's basically warm most of the year or all of the year, like it is in Miami. I'm also going back to Miami um, um, this year, which is 2022. I still have my office there. I have some projects, film projects. One includes the Rolling Stones, and there is some new things, projects coming up with ABC New York. Um, and again, writing books is going to be my new, how should I say, my new main interest. I've done so many films, darlings. There's not even a list of all the music videos. I stopped counting, I don't know, 3,000 ish, more and more. Filmed live concerts, documentaries. I mean, it's like would be a list like this. I will have to do it soon because I do want to know what what the how should I say, you know, I do want to have a complete list. You know, maybe one of my sons is going to help me on that, or somebody around the world is interested in doing this, a student or whatever, because it's going to be a research work, because there is no list of all Rudi Dolezal and Doro productions. There isn't. I always wanted to do this, but I never had time. So that's one thing. And let me tell you, it was a difficult year, and 2022 is coming up. Um, it will not be easy in 2022. Everybody who says, oh, it will be good, I don't think so. But I think if we have the right attitude and be prepared, then we can get well through 2022. I mean, everybody who thinks that this corona thing is going away is simply wrong. Omicron is just one other variation. There will be others after that. It's just in the nature of viruses. And the question is if enough people are clever enough, A, to get vaccinated, because that's the only way to be, be protected, and B, to still have the basic rules of, washing hands, wearing masks, keeping distance of people you don't know, because that helps a lot too. even being vaccinated. But I look around and also here, I mean, it's all around the world. And there is a lot of people who do not seem to have learned enough from what happened so far. I mean, more than 5 million people died. I mean, this is not a joke, you know. In America, more people died than in all the wars together. So this is the war with the. I mean, this is not funny. I have friends who died, 50 years old, no existing conditions. So it's um, it's a test whether we are clever enough to survive, and it's also a test whether we are good enough people to stay human, because these two sides which are in all the countries coming up, the people who say I don't get vaccinated and this is murder and this is all, corona is not existing. Wow, there's still people who say that 2 years after this pandemic is, over us. And on the other hand, the people who are trying to let the facts speak, the scientists, the people who know what they're talking about, not just some people in the internet. I hope we have the strength as humankind to surpass pass this test. And if people who believe in God, maybe that's something that God was giving us to see whether we are clever enough. But definitely for our children, our children's children, we have to take care of the planet, and we have to take care of this pandemic, and we have to take care that enough people live a an okay life, and that rich and poor is there's not so much divide between that, and rich and poor countries. So, darlings, I wish you all the best for 2022. There might be some special backstages, I don't know yet. Um, I'm glad that you are listening and that you're part of this. Thank you very much for to another interesting backstage year. Thanks to all the people who support me around the world. If I now start to name them, then I'm sure I'm forgetting some. So therefore, they know who I, who I mean. And of course, I thank my two sunshines of my life, Benny, who was helping producing this one, and Ruby, who did that in former days and might again do it again. So, love and respect to all of you. You know my three wishes. I told you last time that there is great news soon for the book and the release dates and the countries, especially English, German, and Italian version will be new soon. So please pre-order my book. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rudi Dolezals TV, Rudi Dolezals Doro TV. And the thing is also, the best way to watch this is on YouTube. It's always on Sunday on 11 a.m. in the West Coast, 2 p.m. on the East Coast and Miami, where this whole thing originated, 7 p.m. in London, 8 p.m. in most of Europe, and 9 p.m. in Moscow and Israel. Thank you very much for watching. Frank Zappa is great. Freddie Mercury is too.